Listen up, peoples. Whether you the most toughest nigga in the world or the most asses nigga in the world, don't think it can never happen to you. Don't think that, your beef don't catch up on you, or, shit you did over there ain't gonna come back, whether it's 30 years later, whatever, it might come back to you. Remember that when you point this finger, these 3 fingers come at you. You know what I mean? And let me give you a story, man. Back in the days, in the 90s, or 89, 90, like that, Brooklyn, New York, Bushwick, Williamsburg. I used to fuck around with Nito. No Nito Lugo, his brother Alex, my boy Tony G, He-Man from the South Side, Tony G from Marcy Projects. I haven't seen him in a long time. I don't even know if Tony G is still alive and shit. But Nito had the waterfront in the South Side, the club back in the days. And I was more closer to Alex, Nito's brother, than to Alex, but then I became closer to Alex because, we got to doing things. You know what I'm saying? And after that, we all ended up years later back up north in Bear Hill, I think it was. We was out there together and shit. Nito Lugo and shit. But to get back to the topic, Nito Lugo had the waterfront. And there was dudes always hating him because he was a tall dude, brown skin. And dudes was jealous of the dude. Young kid, get money, tall dude. You know what I'm saying? He would just get it and he had a team. He had a team of niggas. One phone call, niggas from the south side come. The dark side of Bushwick, all over. You know what I'm saying? That's how he had it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a real dude. Niggas went to jail for him, he bailed him out. Real dude. It was a big old Nito. So anyway, dudes are so jealous, man, that they were trying to hit up Nito one time. And they decided to pick Halloween. And they were going to do it inside Nito's club. They was going to be up in there like they was chilling, whatever. And however they thought they was going to get the gun in there. I don't know how they was going to get it because Tony G used to have the door up in there. And we ain't play that shit. But they could have went up in there with a knife and all that shit. Back then we didn't have the metal shit. We checked with their hands and made sure that, you didn't have a strap at least that you go through. And so the dudes was in there waiting for Nito, but Nito already got the eye because, when you keep it real with motherfuckers will tell you what's going on in the streets. And sure enough, because it was Halloween, I forgot what I was dressing up. I remember Loco was dressing up as a cop. Alex, not Nito's brother, Alex, Loco's son, I don't know what the fuck it was we had on. But Nito, we went to get an outfit. It was the old lady's outfit. Mind you, I'm 5'6", I think, 5'7". Nito about 5'9", 5'10", nigga taller than a motherfucker. Nigga like a basketball player. Y'all know him, y'all know. And so, Nito got an old lady costume with the thing you put over your head. A scarf the old lady put in their head and they, all that shit there. The clothes, got a little cart, that little cart that you use to do grocery to old people to, put food up in there and then you drag your little car back home and shit. And Nito decided that was his outfit with his little cart. And we dropped him off in the waterfront in the middle of the block. But nobody would see him so he could pass by the waterfront, the entrance. Tony G already knew what was going on. So he knew Nito was dressed like that, what was going on or whatever. So he knew what to do when we got over there and shit. So we dropped him off in the middle of the block. Nito gets out, we pull out the cart, shopping cart and all that shit there. Nito bends down like real, how you got like really back problems and you bend down like this, like the old people walk, with the cane and all that. So he came out the cane, the cart, and he was walking like an old lady, like, yo, listen, man, Nito did this shit. He did this shit, man. Incredible. Got to the door, Tony G, saluted the old lady, how you doing, boy, anything good? Your water? Yeah, water? Yeah, just to get Nito to come in the club. So when Nito came in, nobody knew it was Nito, it was the old lady. Tony G said, yo, get this lady some water, whatever. Boom, sat there. Boom, took it to the back. You was okay, young lady? Boom, we okay, because, we knew. You okay, young lady? You want to eat, whatever, anything you need. A couple of dudes pulled out a few dollars. I'm saying? The front, the game shit, nigga. And so we sat her down, the old lady, Nito. We sat him down. He sat down right with the dudes that wanted to kill him, that wanted to do something. Right next to these niggas, man. Right next to these niggas, man. And these niggas is just looking like nothing. Bouncing around, drinking, eating chicken wings, whatever the fuck they was doing, man. They was just too comfortable, man. You was too comfortable waiting for a nigga that you was about to hit. And the nigga sitting right there in between y'all motherfuckers, man. So, the best part is this. We waited a little while, and I guess, we threw a little head side. Yeah, Nito on his way or whatever, and we could feel the tension of how the dudes reacted and moved when we said, yeah, he's coming down, Nito. All right. So they was getting prepared. The niggas ain't know, man, that we was already, Nito in the club. We peoples, we got guns up in there. So we was ready. Nito had his gun on me, you know what I'm saying? I had a Tech 22 that Nito's brother Alex used to have, and he don't gave me that. He don't gave me that one time. Something happened in Tompkins, and I needed that. And a couple of things happened in Tompkins projects when I lived over there, and he don't gave me that. I needed that, and so forth. So I went up there I had the Tech 22. Nito had something else up in there, Tony G, and we had some shit inside. And sure enough, after a while, they said, yo, Nito's here. And the niggas started to get up and all that. They started to get up like, they just want to get a drink or something at the bar. And Nito got up behind him and took off his mask. Pulled out the burners. We was all over there. And when them niggas saw that, bro, them niggas bowed down, man. Them niggas had to bow down, man, because they couldn't believe how this nigga Nito did this shit, man. How he came through. This nigga came like a real life old lady. Real life, real shit, real talk. And he came in there and he fooled them niggas that's gonna get him. And on top of that, when them niggas heard Nito was coming, they stood up to look around, and Nito was right behind him as an old lady. Got up, took the mask off, pulled out. We all pulled out the burners just to let them niggas know that, yo. And the niggas told Nito, so listen, man, you know what? Let bygones be bygones, man. I respect you because of this shit you did right here, man. You know what I'm saying? You did this shit. We ain't got no beef, man. And yo, we broke bread, even though we, you don't trust niggas when they tell you, yo, we good, beef is over and all that. But eventually niggas kept their word. Beef was there. The beef was there, and they took that shit seriously. And I bet after they left out of there, in their future, they must have been looking at grandpa, grandma, granddaddy, all type of shit. Or they must have learned a lesson, man, that don't ever fall asleep on a motherfucker and think that nothing can happen. Something can happen at any given time, and you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? So, if you got beef, man, go out there and squash that beef, man. Let bygones be bygones. Let that go. We too old for that bullshit, man. I ain't got no beef. If I got beef with a few dudes that I try to help out, and they're saying I got beef with them or they mad at me, and I ain't got no beef, man. I ain't got to be looking all around, man, And when it's time, it's my time. I ain't got to be looking all around, man. If, God say today's the day, today's the day, man. I ain't going to be looking all around or whatever, because like I said, I ain't got no beef, man. But, y'all kids out there, stop saying that it can't happen. Going back to that, it could happen. So be careful. And be wise, and don't be but wiser, man, because shit can happen in the blink of an eye. Just like that, man. Your light can be taken. Your computer can be shut off. So be wise, man. Go out there, do the right thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You got beef, squash that. Build with that person you got beef, man. You don't even know. Y'all can become partners. Y'all can become big at something positive. Do the right thing, man. That shit is corny. I'm tired of seeing niggas fighting, gunslinging, selling drugs. All this shit, man, that shit is corny. I did all of that, man. I went through that whole book already, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to live life right now, enjoy life, live it the best I can, live those almost 25 years that I couldn't, that I was in prison. I'm trying to relive them the best that I could. I can't quite do it, but I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? A couple of obstacles getting in the way where, I'm sick with a few things because of prison that I came out with, you know what I'm saying? The asthma, things like that. And so I'm working on those things, man. Those things tend to stop me a few times here and there, but I keep pushing. I keep fighting, keep doing what I do, man. But I could go anywhere I ain't got no beef. Like I said, if I get to a spot and there's a beef, it's because they got beef with me and there's a person that I helped them out. And all of a sudden now when I caught up to the game and I decided that I wasn't going to help them more, and that I caught on that they were trying to jerk me and all that, then they wasn't a true friend and I cut them off. And if that's what it is, man, and you call that a beef against me, then it's a beef. What can I say? So, y'all already know what it is. But I got mad love, real love, true love for y'all. Connecticut, stand up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a few days in Connecticut, a few days in New York. I'm actually 4 days now in Connecticut, 3 days in New York. And big up to Connecticut, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Connecticut. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out here trying to do big things. They're trying to do a lot of things, positive things, you know. And, you know, if we can help them out from the other side of towns or anywhere throughout the states, let's do it, you know, so that way throughout the states and other people could come out and support us here in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Most of my rallies and my stuff is in New York, but, you know, I'm out here in Connecticut, man, and, you know, they know that if, you know, they need to reach out, I'm here, and, you know, let's continue to show awareness to the peoples, man, about the prisons, prison reforms, about, you know, about everything in life, man, that's going on, man, that shouldn't, period. You know? So, y'all know what it is, man. Mad love. Freedom is a must.